Good morning, students. We were studying about the methods of calculating national income. The first method that we studied was value-added method or production method. In other words, it is called industrial origin method or net output method. So, what is the formula of calculating national income with this method? That is the gross value added. What we calculate? We calculate gross value added is equal to value of output minus intermediate cost. Now the value of output will be given to you. If it is not given, then what you need to do? You need to look for sales. Value of output is equal to sales in condition if all the production is sold at the end of the year. It means no stock is given in the question. If the stock is given, then what we will do? We will look for the change in stock. If it is given, then sales plus change in stock will be value of output. That will be written here. If the change in stock is not given, then we look for closing stock and opening stock. If it is given, then the change in stock, delta it means change in stock is equal to closing stock minus opening stock. That will be counted here, and the value of it will be added with sales. It become the value of output, and this will be taken here to calculate gross value added. This gross value added is actually GDP-MP, gross value added. Value added, it means production, and it is done in our country. So gross domestic product at market price. Now when we are asked to calculate national income, so we need to convert GDP-MP into NNP-FC. So what we do? NNP-FC is equal to GDP-MP. Now to convert gross into net, we depreciate or we subtract depreciation. To convert domestic into national, we add NFIA. NFIA is FIFA minus FITA that we studied last time. And then to convert market price into factor cost, we subtract NIT. NIT is equal to tax minus subsidies. So this is how we calculate NNP-FC. NNP-FC is national income from value added method. Now what are the precautions that should be taken care while calculating national income from this method? You should go through page number 84 in the book. The precautions that needs to be taken care while calculating national income by this method. Those are: first, value of sale and purchase of second-hand goods is not included in the estimation of value added or GDP. The value of sale and purchase of second-hand goods is not included. Why? Because they were included in the GDP when they were sold for the first time, and we cannot add any item for more than once. So the value of second-hand goods should not be included. Then commission earned on account of the sale and purchase of second-hand goods included in the estimation. The price of second-hand goods is not included, but the commission on the sale or purchase of these goods is included, because commission is earned for the first and only time. Every time whenever these are sold, the commission earned is always included. Then one account production of goods of the producing units is takes into account while estimating value added. On account production of goods, and suppose farmer is producing wheat for his own use, a car used by the car producer, all these are to be calculated while calculating national income or production, because while they are not sold but they are produced and they are used. Imputed value of production for self-consumption. It is same. Own account production means when you are using the production for any item for your production unit, just like for the transportation of employees. And imputed value, it means when you are using for your own purpose, just like a farmer has taken wheat from his farm for his personal use. So value of all these is included. Then the value of intermediate goods is not included in the estimation of value added, because value of intermediate goods is reflected in the value of final goods. This is very important. Value of intermediate goods is not to be included. Imputed rent on owner's occupied house is to be taken into account. If the land is self-owned, the imputed rent is to be included, because what happens that if a producer is taking land on rent, he has to pay rent. But if the land is his own, he do not pay rent. But if he is giving that to any other, that will have a rental value. Suppose if I am producer, I am producing any item in my home, I will not pay rent because that is my own property. But if I am giving anybody that place for the production activity, what I would do, I would charge rent. So every property has its rental value. We need to calculate rental value of our land while producing, and we should count that rent, that is called the imputed rent. Then service for self-consumption are not considered while estimating value added. If you are working for yourself, just like service of housewife in home, these are not calculated while calculating national income by this method. Now we move further, and these are the precautions. Now what happens that many times we face the problem of double counting while calculating national income with this method. What is the problem and how to solve this? This problem arises generally when we don't have a proper idea about the intermediate goods and the final goods. And what we need to do, that we need to count the value of final goods only, but what we do, we count the value of intermediate goods as well. So as the value of intermediate goods is included in final goods, and again we add intermediate goods, so intermediate goods are counted twice. Look at here. Suppose we are calculating gross value added is equal to value of output. Okay. Now value of output is is the value of final goods. Final goods are obtained from intermediate goods. So the value of final goods has the value of intermediate goods in itself. Suppose how the final goods came. So suppose final goods is cloth. I bought cotton for ₹5. We used labor of ₹2. So what will the price of cotton cloth? That will be 5 plus 2, 7 rupees. Why? Because the price of cloth was 5 rupee. Price of cotton was 5 rupee, and the charges of labor were 2 rupees. So the price of cloth became 7 rupees. Now this is the intermediate consumption, 5 rupees of cotton. It is included in it. If I say that the price of cotton is not included, then the price of cloth is just 2 rupees. That is the price of labor. Okay. So what we need to do while calculating national income, that we should not calculate the price of cotton. Why? Because it is already included in the price of cloth. So many times what we do, we add the price of cloth as well as the price of cotton. This is called the problem of double counting. What is the problem of double counting? While estimating national income, many times we use the final value of the production or the market value of final goods, and we do not subtract, or we again use the cost of intermediate goods as well. Just like we should see one example which is given here, which shows us that suppose a farmer produced 1 ton of wheat and sells it for 400 rupees in the market to the flour mill. What he done? He produced 1 ton of wheat and sells it for 400 in the market to a flour mill. As far as the farmer is concerned, the sale of wheat is final sales and he gets 400 for it. For the farmer, it is the final sales. If he does not have to incur any expenditure on the cultivation of wheat, 400 becomes the value of his contribution to GDP, or value of added by him. So this 400 what he got after selling 1 ton of wheat is his contribution to national income or GDP. Now, the purchase of wheat by the flour mill is an intermediate good. It converts wheat into flour and sells it for 600 to baker. The flour mill treats the flour as final goods. Now, that wheat which was final good for a farmer is an intermediate good for flour mill. And what he is doing? He is converting it into flour and selling it for 600 rupees to a baker. Now, this flour is the final good for that flour mill owner. So what we need to do? We need to subtract the value of this wheat, because it becomes intermediate good here. Then this flour came to baker. What baker done? He made bread and sold to the shopkeeper for 800. Now the flour which was a final good for this flour mill owner, now it is an intermediate good for the baker, and the bread which is made by that flour is the final good for baker. Baker sold it to shopkeeper. Now what shopkeeper did? The shopkeeper added 100 rupees to the price and sold the bread for 900 rupees. Now, this bread it was a final good for baker, but it is a intermediate good for shopkeeper because he is selling it. He is not going to take it for his use. So here he sold it as 900 rupees. Now, all these are became the intermediate goods. What we need to do? We need to subtract 400 from the GDP of mill owner because it is the value of intermediate good from of wheat. So his contribution would become 200 rupees. Then he sold his item to baker. Now baker sold it for 800. So we will subtract this 600 from his value. It becomes 200. So this is how we need to subtract the value of intermediate goods. This entire chain of production activity, if we overlook the fact that output of one producer is used as raw material by other, GDP estimation would be grossly over 900, 400 plus 600 plus 800, 900 is equal to 2700. Now, what we see that we have produced this for 400, there is production of 600, here it is for 800 and then 900. So what we generally see that 4 and 6, 14, 14 and 8, 22, and 9. It is about 37, 4 and 6, 10, 10 and 18, 18, 9, 27, 2700 rupees of production. What we see here, that the GDP has reached to 2700, 400 of wheat, 600 of flour, 1000, 800 of bread, 1000 and 900 for the shopkeeper. So it becomes 1700. But the fact is that only final goods are to be included in the expression of GDP. It means we calculate only the 900 which is finally used by the household, which are not going to be used for again. So always what we do here, we calculate this 900. What we calculate? We calculate 900 as the value of output, not all these. If we calculate all these, then the GDP of the country will be appreciated wrongly. So what we do, we just calculate 900, and what we see that the GDP has increased from 900 to 2700. It means it increased for 3 times, which do not show us a good sign for the economy, because it is wrongly overvalued. Ways to avoid it. What to do to avoid the problem of double counting? It is final output method. It means we always calculate the final output just like 900 what we calculated here, and value added method. It means we always use the value added method where we calculate the value of production and we subtract intermediate cost from there. So we need to seriously look for the intermediate cost, and we need to subtract intermediate cost properly from the value of output which is given or which we calculated from. So this is all about the value added method, the formula. We studied the formula, we studied the precautions which we need to take care, and in last we studied the problem of double counting, which is generally faced during this calculation of national income by this method. Now we'll move forward in next video and we'll solve questions related to this method, and we'll move further for the next method. So study all these at your home properly so that you can understand everything easily. Thank you very much.